Hi lovies, and welcome back to this channel. If you're new here, my name is Malinda's channel. Thank you so much for all the love and support. Don't forget to please subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. And to my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos and also educate you guys are the real MVP. Thank you so much. Alright lovelies, let's dive into this video. So lovelies, I came across this video on my For You page on TikTok, and I thought to share with you guys where white people is actually finding out what black and POC people is trying to tell them over the years. I'm just going to roll a clip as well as some of other stitches that I was able to put together, because a lot of people were actually stitching a video by this pan-colored woman. Please leave in your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video, and do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. Alright lovelies, let's dive into it.
So I voted third party because I didn't want to vote for Joe Biden. I thought he was doing a bad job, but I didn't want to vote for Trump either. Do I regret my choice? Well, yeah, obviously now, but I didn't really think this was going to happen. I didn't vote in the election because I didn't think that my vote mattered. Biden actually lost in my area by 50 votes. And
my biggest pet peeve will continue to be that films like The Hunger Games or Handmaid's Tales, both of which I read the book series before they ever came out in like TV shows and movies, is that the white women who will then turn around and try to weaponize them as if the authors of both of these series didn't write these books and tell these stories based off of things that were currently happening. But the fact of the matter is that until it impacts white women, they don't say shit. They don't do shit. And then they get online and make these little skits to try to fearmonger everyone, while black and brown women in the United States and across the globe are facing these impacts, and even poor white women are facing these impacts. Yet this is what the fuck we get from women like this. Something that also continues to be a pet peeve of mine is that we know we have a voting system that is fucked. Hillary Clinton did not lose to Donald Trump. Hillary Clinton lost to the Electoral College. We have a system in place that does not value every single vote as being an equal vote in determining a presidency. Even though we do that for senators, even though we do that for other representatives, it is not done for the presidency. And yet, when we know that Hillary Clinton won by 3 million votes, people still say, oh, it's because people didn't vote. That's not fucking true. To have had so many people that were that upset in 2016 and Hillary Clinton still win by 3 million is not the fault of people not voting. It's the fault of a bullshit ass system that we continue to participate in. For God's sakes, the writers of both of those fucking book series wrote those stories because of how fucked the current system is. And very similar to both of those stories, y'all will not pay attention to them unless it is a white woman protagonist. The reason why white women in particular, resonate so much with Handmaid's Tale is because there is a white protagonist. If that woman had not been white, they would not have listened to that story and they would not have taken that message in. The exact same thing with The Hunger Games. You guys will literally weaponize your ability to be safe at the expense of other marginalized groups. And you know that a Biden presidency is not going to stop all of these anti-trans legislation bills that are being written, all of the rolling back of civil rights. You guys know that in honestly blue states, you are going to continue to be protected as long as you live in those states. But everyone else who is being forced to live under systems of gerrymandering, of voter suppression, are going to continue to face the same fucking impacts that y'all are making these little fucking skits about. In many states through the South, women are already regulated as second-class citizens. And everybody tries to make it seem like it's so easy. It's so easy to walk into that booth and know the right decision and make the right choice by just writing Joe Biden's name in or fucking checking that box and moving on. So many of you want to criminalize people for morally struggling with this, and that is alarming to me. I don't care how much you try to throw your logic in and say how much things are going to be worse. People are feeling the impacts now. People were feeling the impacts in 2016. And And the fear that they have is that they are going to continue to feel it no matter who they put in place. But yet so many of you are just trying to say that people are unintelligent. People are voting against their own interests. People don't care about the greater communities around them because they are struggling to vote for Joe Biden. I don't understand how we can see somebody who is so obviously struggling on a day-to-day basis to be the commander-in-chief of this country. And as people are being forced to watch that shit on their televisions and on their phones and are rightfully scared, the very best that so many of you can muster is to ridicule and be condescending. I am sick of seeing skits like this, particularly from white women. Because in just about every point in history in which white women had power to do something for the greater collective, who did they pick but themselves every single time? And RBG, I'm looking at you, bitch. People don't have a plan. People aren't thinking about the future. People are terrified. And I think it's also funny because so many people keep bringing up Project 2025, and I have been continuing to read it because it is so fucking long. But one of the number one words that I want to point out that repeatedly appears in Project 2025 is the word community. Conservatives figured out very, very quickly in Project 2025 that if they continue to form community, which is a word that appears so many times in that damn manifesto, that they actually had a real shot at this. And what they did is reach out to the worst fucking bigoted people that they could and wrote that damn thing. Yet here we are sitting on our hands, having known about Project 2025, depending on when you learned about it. I'm not here to judge, but depending on when you learned about it, a year, 2 years ago, having known about this, and Dems did nothing to try to combat this. They didn't write their own Project 2025. Even when in Project 2025, they talk about how they put the first version of this in front of Ronald fucking Reagan, Dems did nothing. So when we are now in the year 2024, when people are so disillusioned to the idea of voting, I don't want to hear shit from y'all. Because Gen Z, all of us had to sit here on our fucking hands while so many of you have been adults for decades and have continued to play the system. And what the fuck has it gotten you?
You know, it's truly sad. I didn't realize who my girl was duetting like last night. Of course, I was trying to hurry up and get into bed. But you know, it's really, you have to laugh to keep from crying. But to watch y'all turn around and dress up in Handmaid's costumes and then turn around to find out that some of y'all have voted for Republicans or voted third party. And then I sit and I think about 2016 and then I think about 2020, right? And I'm sitting here, 60% of white women voted for Trump in 2016, but then that 60% of women went to the Women's March in their pink pussy hats and had their signs and all that stuff, and they were marching with the very women who was telling them not to vote for Trump. And then there was one black woman who called out those of y'all that voted for Trump or voted third party. Then we get to the 2020 election. It goes up to damn near 70%. And then third party voting went up too. And I'm just sitting here. And then y'all are the very ones who are running around cosplaying as Handmaid said. You know, you went and got some cheap fabric and you made you a Handmaid, whatever it's called, a pilgrim outfit. And now you're worried because what you have been voting for finally came to fruition. If I said that word right. And we're supposed to take and just welcome you back with open arms when because of the way that women that look like you and think like you are the reason why the other women are having to suffer right now. Do you realize by the way that y'all have voted, y'all have put pregnant women who have healthy pregnancies, y'all have put them in danger? They're bleeding out. Doctors won't even touch them when they come in the emergency room. See, for some of y'all think that y'all think politics is a joke. Politics is about real life. Real lives are attached to these politicians. And then, like I said, I didn't put two and two together, and I seen like your comment to my girl's video talking about, well, my videos reach 1 million people. Okay, and I'm pretty sure half of those people are roasting you right now. And the ones that aren't, they're just as clueless about what's going on, or they're clueless about the way that they vote. Republicans have been telling y'all for years that they were going to overturn Roe, and y'all still run and y'all still vote for it. Y'all still vote for them to put them in office. And so all of these years that y'all have continued to run and put Republicans in office, and then these Republicans have been able to take and put federal judges on the bench, or some of these politicians, governors or mayors have been able to put judges and shit in certain situations. They've been able to infiltrate all these men and some women, but mostly men, who have wanted to overturn Roe. This is what I need y'all to understand. When it comes to politics, it's not just about the person who gets into the White House. It is about the staff and the administration that they are going to put together. It's the same whenever it comes for voting for governor or mayor. It is about the people that they are going to have around them. And so if you vote for a Republican who wants to overturn Roe or take away people's rights, they're going to take and put the most extremist people around them. And they're going to take and they're going to do their work, and they're going to find out how they can take those rights away. But the thing is, y'all didn't believe it was going to happen. And so because of you being naive, or you just brushing it off because they kept saying that it's black women that have the most abortions and all of this stuff, or it's black people that are always on these social like food stamps or whatever, you guys, whether it was implicit bias or whether it was bias, either way it goes, it was bias, you guys continue to vote for Republicans. Now I get it. The Democratic Party has not been a shining star. And we all know that. Because the one chance that we did have to have a president who was going to do what it needed to be done to make sure that Roe was secured, a lot of y'all decided not to hear him. And then the media also helped, and then the corporations and the millionaires and billionaires also helped to make sure that that man didn't get in office, who always talked about protecting Roe. But no, y'all didn't want to hear that. I'm just so tired of y'all being the ones who take and blow everything up, and then once it's blown up, and then once you see that it is going to affect you and your family, then you want to come on here, and then you want to dress up in handmaids as pilgrims, and then you want to turn around, and then you want to scream and holler at everybody else and try to make people try to be the one that you want to deliver the message and try to get it across to people. No, you don't get to be the same one, the person to slap me and then turn around and tell me how I should react after you have smacked me. You don't get to be the one after you took and threw your vote away, which is your vote. You do what you want to, especially in the primaries. If you're going to throw your vote away, throw it away in the primary. But when it comes down to the main event, you should have went ahead and you should have voted for Democrat. There's a lot of us that had to hold our nose and still vote. And damn it, we're in the same situation again. But you don't get to come on here and act like that, act like, oh, like you're going to be the answer, whatever. Because girl, I ain't watched the rest of your video. I ain't even gonna lie. I didn't watch the rest of your video. So, I'm just saying this to women that look like you and have your complexion, and who voted like you did, and who voted for Republicans. This is on y'all. This is on y'all at the end of the day. It really is. It's on y'all. Y'all are the ones that continue to vote for Republicans. Y'all are the ones who voted for Donald Trump in 2016 and 2020 at 60% and 70% in 2020. To correct this, you shouldn't be coming and hollering at people that look like me, black women, Latino women, Mexican women, indigenous women. Any woman that has this shade right here, you should not be hollering at them. You should be taking in your ire and you should be hollering at your palm-colored sisters. That's who y'all need to be talking to. Because y'all are part of the reason why that we are in this situation from the get-go. What are y'all going to do to change it? How are y'all going to show up? Or are you going to be exactly like you did when you voted third party, which is selfish?
So
when Trump wins the election, notice I said when, because it's pretty fucking obvious that he's going to win at this point. But when he does, I hope that he comes out and personally thanks all of the insufferable white liberals for being the reason that he won. You see, Trump isn't going to win because of third party voting. Well, in a sense he is, but the reason people are voting third party is because the DNC isn't doing an effective campaign. So when the DNC isn't effectively campaigning, you have liberals like that crazy lady essentially trying to campaign for the DNC, right? You know, like liberal shills, like Harry. But they are so insufferable that they just are the nail on the coffin for why people will not vote for Biden. So if you are making this video essentially shaming third-party voters, that's not a healthy tactic. That's not a good tactic. It's not an effective tactic. And all you're doing is making you, Biden, and the DNC look like assholes. Just my take.
A lot of people stitching this video, and it wasn't until I saw Crutches and Spice make a stitch of this video that fully explained what is so viscerally disappointing and upsetting every time I see a white woman cosplay as a handmaid on this app whenever things just slightly go in a direction that may affect them negative. And it's that ultimately, by purchasing and wearing that costume, regardless of the content that you're making and regardless of whatever critique on policy you're trying to promote, the only thing you're telling me as a viewer who is most likely already being affected by the policies that you're all of a sudden disagreeing with is that you accept that as your fate and you're prepared for it. Because why else would you buy the costume? Are you incapable of making that point in any other way? Especially considering what happens to the relatively non-desirable people in that book. It's ironic to me because a lot of people who are making these criticisms and making these like interview style videos are assuming that they would have the autonomy and the ability to even do that in the first place. That you wouldn't get weeded out in the same way that somebody who looks like me would get weeded out. And ultimately, what bothers me so much about it is that when you have the option to cosplay as your own oppression, all you're doing is letting the people who want that to actually happen know that you already accept the role. So who are you really criticizing at this point? Because it seems like you're having way too much fun dressing up in the costume that you expect to have to wear for the rest of your life.
A really good video if you like to discuss the idea of white activism, because she only ever discusses activism as it responds to her daily life. She has never advocated for anyone who wasn't a group that wasn't directly involved with her life, and her life is being a woman, being white, and having some disability. So she only ever advocates for disability. She only ever advocates for women, but not all women, just white women. Because she's okay with the native people, the native women who are suffering at the hands of Joe Biden. She's okay with the people in the West Asia. She's okay with people in Palestine who are suffering, who are women, who have disability. But she isn't okay with her suffering. Because her comfort is the only comfort that matters. That's a white supremacist talking point. It's the right to comfort. If you look at her outfit, it's also a red flag because she's using The Handmaid's Tale, which is a fictional world where white women get to feel the level of oppression that all of us get to feel every day. She has to pretend that because unlike her, everyone else has that feeling. We just get it without doing anything. I don't have to wear an outfit. I am actually just being oppressed by virtue of my skin tone. So for me, I don't have to wear an outfit. You can just look at me and know. And there are a lot of people that fall into that intersection. But for white women, they don't. So they have to make up something. They have to do some quirky footwork in order to do that. Lastly, look at her intent. All you have to do is look at what she's saying in the comments, look at which comments she's liking, look at the ones that she's pushing back against. All you can see from that is that she seeks attention and she only cares about self-preservation. This is not what I think of when I think of solidarity. This is what I think of when I think of white supremacy.
Black and brown women have been telling y'all about this shit for years. And y'all ignored us. Yeah, like to put on these handmade cosplays and shit like that, pretending to go through shit that we have been going through for centuries, because now it's finally happening to y'all. That's the most hilarious thing about this shit. It's finally fucking happening to y'all. Now y'all freak out. But when it came down to us, y'all didn't give a damn. And y'all the same ones, 53% of y'all voted for Trump. 53%. So, like, y'all do know that The Handmaid's Tales is inspired by actual historic events that Native and Black women went through, right? Right. Okay.
They will shenan once and then shenan again. How are you not embarrassed? My alabaster Ashleys, my bleached Brendas, my caucus Carols. Fucking why? I know a lot of people are asking, why is this still up? Y'all know the reason. It's because they can't read the room. Because finally, they have a little crumb of oppression and they are holding on to it for dear life. Because they will do anything to avoid listening to other people and their lived experiences. it's not surprising.
Like, seriously, lovelies, there is one thing about some of these, pan-colored people. They often do something that is just in their own favor. Like, if something is not favoring them, or even if it is actually favoring them, and favoring a little bit of other people, like the POC, black people, and all of that, they will just want to jeopardize it because it favors other people. They like getting involved with something that is of their own self, beneficiary, like something that has to do with them, and every other person can just go ahead and suffer. Deal with it. I don't care. So far, this thing is not affecting me. So far, I don't have anything to lose. So far, it has nothing to do with me. So far, it's not affecting me, even if it's affecting other people. Even if it's making other people's life miserable and living hell and all of that. And okay, I'm not affected by it, so I don't even care about it. I don't care. I don't give a damn about it, since it's not affecting me. But when they say that, okay, this thing that we thought that wasn't affecting us, that wasn't affecting me personally, is beginning to affect me. Though it doesn't affect me personally, but it affects other marginalized group of people. But now it's beginning to affect me the same way it's affecting other marginalized people. Like, it's affecting me a little bit. That is when you will see them running helter-skelter. Black people, people of color, and all of that has been telling pan-colored women about this for a very long time. 2016, like, because then they don't care. They don't care they're being, brainwashed. You guys are gonna be okay. The only people that have problem with this are the POC or the black women or black people, most especially. You guys are gonna be okay. So because we're gonna be okay, we don't care about every other person that has been affected negatively. Since we are alright, so we don't care. This is their problem. And when is now, like, the reverse is now the case, everyone is just, receiving the tip of the iceberg. They're now feeling oppressed. They're now, talking about how oppressed they are. They're now trying to use the white women terrorists. Oh my God, we have been affected. But this thing that you are here, complaining and talking about how affected you are, there is a subgroup of people that have been living and it's been affecting them for years. And they have been complaining, but nobody won't listen because, oh my God, it does not have an effect on me, so why should I listen to you? Why should I listen to your problems? It doesn't affect me. But now, it's beginning to affect everyone. It's beginning to affect everyone, so they have to put on some kind of costume to actually, tell the world how affected you are. But there's some group of people that don't even need to put on a costume. They don't need to put on a costume because they are already wearing a costume. Their color is a costume. They don't need to put on a costume to actually tell the world that, okay, the system is... They don't actually need to put on a particular costume to make the world know that, okay, this system is actually affecting us now. because nobody cares about them. Nobody cares. But now everything, everyone is getting a piece of the cake. Now it's as if everyone is awake. Everyone is getting up. Everyone is at work. You know, there are so many things, so many bills that has been passed, and this has been affecting a lot of people. It does not even affect only one particular race of people. It's now affecting both the eyes and the nose and the mouth. Let's talk about the military. That is the draft that was just passed. Talking about how, as a young man, when you just turn 16, automatically you are supposed to go for a certain work. This has nothing to do with a particular race, and a lot of Pankala people were just crying out, "Oh my God, why would you do that?" There is a particular, video I staged, and this man was just ranting, "I am not gonna give my child to you to go to any war and blah blah blah," because it was not only meant for a particular people. It affecting everyone. Everyone is ranting. Everyone is crying. But if it was something that is meant for, this kind of people have to do this, and it doesn't concern me, you will see everyone keeping quiet, and black people or POC people will just have to go fix their thing themselves. Are we talking about the healthcare system? Are we talking about it? It's affecting everyone now. It was actually seems that it was just the black women that keep on complaining about how ill-mannered they treat them at the healthcare system, how negligent that they neglect them, how they don't take their own cases seriously. But not quite long ago, I posted a video about so many, painkillers coming out to rant about how the healthcare system is now affecting them. A lot of them, like, we are not attended, we are so neglected, nobody's taking our case seriously. But this is the same thing these people have been complaining over the years, and nobody's saying anything about it. Everybody's just busy with their daily activities because it doesn't concern me, it does not affect me. So why should I come out to talk about something that does not affect me? But now it affecting everyone. This life, that is an adage that they say that anything that meets the mouth will automatically meet the eyes and the nose. Because it does not affect you before doesn't mean that it will not, one way or the other, you won't taste the heat of it. It is not because I just want to helter skelter now, because you're just tasting what these other people has been enduring for years. They've been enduring for years. Anytime when I see stitches about the healthcare system and how these particular people are all out talking about how frustrated they are, how they feel so neglected, I was like, wow, you guys are speaking up now. And now this woman, she's out here crying, regretting. Because what? Because it's not affecting her. But this is the same thing some particular people have been enduring for years, but all because it does not, you don't care. But now, anything that meets the mouth automatically goes to the eyes. You're out here crying. Like, seriously. When I see people like this, I was like, oh, now you're realizing what black people have been trying to say. Now you hit these people in the face, and after you see that what you hit them on the face does not really work out for you, want to come and tell them what to do anymore. No, you have to go back to your sisters and brothers so that you people can just continue from where you stop, and allow these other people to just relax and watch you do your thing. Anyway, lovelies, why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or whatsoever. We just here for educational and informative purposes. So please, subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so that anytime I upload a video, you will be the first person to be notified. So leave your thoughts in the comment and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one. And if you have watched up to this extent, thank you so much for all the love and support. Why not just leave me your own thoughts in the comment section of what you think of this video. And do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying, harassment, or wrestling. We're just here for educational purposes. So please subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. Like, and I will see you lovelies when I upload the next one.